shirt, and we've got the how to vote cards. If you've anyone pre-polled yet, anyone had a vote yet? When you go to the polling booth, there's always a stack of people standing outside the polling booth, and that's not the place to be. The place to be is to be forward of them, away from the main group. That's if you've got a second person, they go there for backup. The best place for you to be is on the approach where the most people are coming before everybody else. 70% of the people that vote have already decided what they're going to vote. Only about 10% of them can be altered. What you're looking for is the 30% that haven't made their mind up. Of the 30% that haven't made their mind up, 50% genuinely don't give a porcupine's prick. They don't care less. And they're the people that you want to get, because you want to get them, you want to appeal to them so that they will vote the way you want them to vote. You're worth, on a polling booth, an increase of 7% on what a person on another polling booth is worth if they don't do it the right way. You can actually get an extra 7% to vote by being a good biz worker. So what you do when someone's approaching you, you say, have a happy vote. Have a vote you'll like tomorrow. And what you've got to try to do is you've got to try to pull them up to stop them. So as you're seeing them, you're walking backwards slowly. On my wheelchair, it's perfect for me because I just roll back slowly. So the object is to engage them. And to engage them, you've got to have a friendly smile. And welcome to the polling booth is another very good thing to say. Welcome to the polling booth. Help preserve small business. Have you heard of Fraser Anning? Fraser Anning is a former member of a large political party. He started his own political party because he wants to preserve small business as a way of life. Now, if you can pull the person up, the very next best thing to say is he wants to preserve small business. What the union movement is about, it's about selling union membership. That's all the union movement is about, selling union membership. In order to sell union membership, they want to close down small business. They want Bunnings and Woolworths and Coles removing, and everyone else they can possibly do, remove small business. Because it's the small business owner who is the person that trains their employee to become a small business person. Without small business people, there's no school for people to learn to become a small business person. Because no one working for Bunnings will ever aspire to own their own business. So I'm supporting Fraser Anning and Fraser Anning's man Darren Long because they are small business advocates. They want to preserve and protect small business from big business and big government. You'll see on the How to Vote card here in the Senate that he's included the Liberal Party in the mix. He's a Conservative, he's included the Liberal Party in the mix in the Senate vote, because if Labor gets in, where small business will be even destroyed at a greater rate than it is now. The reason that Turnbull changed the voting system in the Senate was to benefit the Greens and the Labor Party, because he wanted the Greens to have a balance of power in the Senate. He wanted a balance of power in the Senate for the Greens because he wanted to pass his emissions trading scheme. Because he knows down in the future Australia's going to be buying millions of dollars worth of carbon credits from overseas countries that burn wood instead of coal. So that's why I'm here. Is there anything you want to ask me, please feel free to ask me. So, the essence of what I'm saying is, you're looking for that person that hasn't decided who wants to preserve small business. You're looking for the person who is an anti-socialist who wants to preserve small business. And you're looking for a person who wants to keep Australia, Australia. Wants to maintain our family, our small business, our freedom of speech, our freedom of land title. Land title's a fascinating thing as well, because if they look like they want to talk to you, the next thing to say is the Labor Party is going to remove land title as a given right, because they're going to say when you die, you don't own the property anymore, the government owns 30% of it. So they're removing land title as a given, because they're going to tax you after death as an inheritance tax. Bequeath an inheritance the Labor Party wants to cease to exist, because it's a small step on the way. And of course the Greens don't believe in inheritance at all. They don't believe anyone when they die should be able to leave their property to anyone, because the Greens are mad. And 10 days after the Communist Party of Australia closed down, the Greens opened. That's what happened. That's the actual history. The Greens Party commenced 10 days after the Communist Party closed its doors. And the same people, coincidentally, were in the Communist Party, were in the Greens. Any questions? That's it.
Big
If you
Kip
get a
Ping.
person who's really frantic to help you, who is on your side, I'm voting, say to them, it's always good to say to them, if you'd like to do a couple of hours or an hour for me on the polling booth, that'd be great because I can't do the other end. You send them down the other end. And some of them will do it. Always be recruiting. The whole purpose of any political activity, any demonstration, which is what I told Home Australia, the only purpose to have a demonstration, the only purpose to have a meeting is for the purpose of recruiting. There's no purpose to have any kind of political activity unless you're recruiting at it. And when you recruit, you've got to have a task for someone. If someone gets given a task, then they feel excellent after they've done the task. They feel grateful for themselves that they're making a contribution to their country. And that goodness that they feel makes 60% of them ask to do more. So always be recruiting on the polling booth. It's fascinating how to do that. That's about my story. I can go on forever about it. Has anyone got any questions about it?
What about the posters and stuff? So you see hanging over the fences and that.
We haven't got corporates this time round. As long as
you're wearing the shirt.
As long as we get this Senate guy, yeah, the shirt's
than a
good. As long as we get the Senate guy back in.
Corporates just get vandalised and stolen anyway.
The other thing I want to say about it is this: don't engage in conversation with the opposition. It's a waste of time and space. I do it on occasions to aggravate it. I get him so uptight, so angry when there's no voters around. When the voter comes down, they're snarly and he's a prick. They just absolutely hate me, and I make it hate me because when the voter comes, I'm there. Hi, welcome to the polling booth. Good to see you. Have a happy vote. Have a happy vote. This is a good vote. This is why I'm helping you. Would you like to know why? Is there anything you'd like to know about? So I'm in there happy, and they're there snarly. Because there's no purpose in talking to them. They're basically they're as fanatical as you can get, which is why they're handing out. And you can't convert them. There's no purpose to them. And if you're talking to them, if you're handing a how to vote card to somebody simultaneously while someone else is handing them a how to vote card, it has no value. You've got to be away with major flows coming in, where you've got time to talk to them if they want to talk. And whether you say Darren Long or Fraser Anning, I've tried both where I'm at. I'm at 5 Nerang Street. You're very welcome if you want to come down and see me there, see how I'm doing. I'll be there all next week at number 5 Nerang Street, which is between Scarborough Street and Marine Parade, the pre-poll there, which isn't going to be a pre-poll office on election day, except for in a status. And if you need, you might have to come there to get more cards. I don't know how many cards we can give out now. But I see they all gather together and they all hand out together. And some people, each federal election, less and less people are more interested in doing it. Oh, I'm all right, I'm okay. And they just kind of ignore everybody, like they've got the ants' pants. So I don't stay with the mob. Sometimes when I cross over, if I've got no one coming this way, I'll cross over them all and go to the other side. And they're all too stupid to try and compete with me. They all hang around there together because they all want to talk to each other about how marvellous they are. And I don't talk to them except if I want to aggravate them. And that's what I do. I aggravate them fiercely. And if they're saying they're voting for Palmer, what I suggest, I'm voting for Clive. That's very good. I'm very happy to vote for Clive. As a matter of fact, Fraser Anning has put Clive. You'll see here, he's put Clive before Labor and Greens. Unfortunately, Clive has preferenced the Liberal Party number 2, and what he's got paid to do that, he had to put Fraser Anning last. He claims to be some kind of conservative, and he's put Australia's foremost conservative last on his ballot paper. The same as the Greens have done, the same as the Liberal Party's done. And the Liberal Party bought Clive by giving Clive number 2 by putting Fraser Anning last. It's outrageous. And of course, if someone says they're voting for Pauline Hanson, that's very good. Vote for Pauline Hanson for sure, but vote Fraser first, because Pauline, unfortunately, has had a bit of a mind slip, and she's preferencing the Labor before Fraser Anning and before Liberal. Without a Conservative government, and without a more Conservative government than Labor, being the Liberal government, we're doomed, because the Labor Party will destroy what's left of small business and open up the door to an extra 300,000 people every year. If they still want to talk to you, the next thing I tell them is the reason that the big Australians, the so-called big Australians, want to import 300,000 new people every year is because it's $1.8 million that they receive from electoral funding for every 300,000. The Liberal Party and the Labor Party share 1.8 million every extra 300,000 people they get on the roll. This federal election, the Liberal Party and the Labor Party are going to principally share $84 million of taxpayers' money in electoral funding. What we're going to be doing with Fraser, we're going to be suggesting to Fraser that he abolish electoral funding, because it makes politicians campaign for your vote to get $6 for their party. And it doesn't matter if it's a Bodie, because that Bodie is costing $90,000 for the first year to settle. They got $6. 6 times 300,000 is 1.8 million. And 16 million voters is $84 million the Liberal Party and Labor Party are getting because of electoral funding. It should be abolished. And I'm sure Fraser will be working on doing that. That's about it. That's what I basically do. And sometimes some people stay to hear the whole story, and sometimes I'm voting for Fraser. Okay, I'll vote for you. I'll vote for you. And we'll see what happens. We've got to get the Senate in Queensland. It's absolutely frantic that we do, because without him winning it this time, it's the end. You don't get a second shot at the title. We've got to make sure he wins.
He's not up. He's not up.
His man.
His man, yeah.
We've got to get his man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my story. How's that?
Bruh, fucking great, mate. Perfect. Give him a clap. Give him an applause.
Okay, and I'm grateful today for something very, very important. I'm grateful for the T-shirt, and I'm grateful to see all you guys here. It doesn't take very many of us to save the world, I can tell you. Good on you, mate. Good on you for standing.